Hey guys, what's up? Zhenyu here. So we are here on the stream right now with chat, YouTube chat, and Twitch chat. But today I have a very big thing that I want to talk about regarding ZZZ Devs and their interview on a article. And I want to see what they said because this article have been released on like June 6, so basically a week ago, literally around when season 2 came out. So I didn't get to make a video about it just now, but I wanna talk about this article and see what Zenless Zero are like hinting about in the future of Zenless Zero, especially in season 2, regarding combat and their whole vision for the future of Zenless Zero. This is the article that I'm talking about. Basically, an article from DBLT or DBL Top. So, Zenless Zero devs don't feel regret about having to change their vision for the game. Zhenyu says. So I want to talk about this article because they actually show few stuff that I've been looking forward about, like the Zenless Zero mechanics, especially like the forgotten mechanics, which is the tag team mechanic, which Kolida and my boy Ben Bigger have. Zhenyu also said some stuff about the future of Zenless, so we're gonna look into this, okay? Okay, let's see this. On occasion, I had the opportunity to ask Zenless Zero lead producer Zhenyu some questions via email, almost exactly a year after speaking of him about Zenless Zero release in person. Lee told me that the Zenless Zero team doesn't feel regret about having to change his vision so drastically. I think a lot of people will say that Zenless Zero have a lot of soft launch. I would agree. It's kinda feel bad because they had to soft launch like literally 2 times on 1.4 and on 2.0, but it makes sense because Zenless Zero have a lot of problems since start. Honestly, it feels so good that the devs are like literally saying they don't feel regret about these changes, but they're gonna have regret soon because of what happened on 2.0 story, honestly, because there's a lot of backlash on that, and I have some things that I wanna say about those backlash too, and my thoughts about it in like in another video. I'll talk about it in another video. Okay, so emphasizing that innovation isn't achieved overnight. That's good. Developers are focused on future much more than they are in the past. That future, Lee said, we will see even more changes instead of delivering bite-sized story arcs that can wrap over a span of single update. The team will focus more on overarching storytelling in Season 2, which leaves more room for characters' relationship to develop. The team also wants to return the concept of faction-based chain attacks. This is what I'm talking about, guys. The tag team mechanic, where literally on 1.0 Zenless Zero, Ben and Kolida have that mechanic. Even right now, you can try it. But wasn't revisited with release since then. Like literally, they haven't made a faction-based chain attacks. Like literally, until today, we still don't have anything about that. So they're probably gonna work on that soon. And Lee also went into some details regarding the inspiration of White Peninsula, how agents combat styles come to be, and how the team will handle additional platform. It's already tight dev cycle. It's crazy how Zenless Zero devs are working. You will see how much ZZZ devs are working because of how much they've been optimizing this game ever since the launch. Okay, if you watch, okay, I would not say you need to watch all the special program, but if you see all the optimization, each patch already have like a big optimization in the game, which is crazy to think about. And they've been listening. I'm not gonna say they're not been listening, but they are listening, like too much listening. I'm gonna be very honest. But they already said this on the dev talk, which is they want to do a literally, instead of just like on Genshin, right? You will go to like different nation. They have like that different nation have some like problems, but it's so attached to your main goal. Also, HSR have this where your main goal is so attached with like every planet you go into HSR, right? I feel like you guys will realize this on like how the formula is, especially on Genshin and HSR. But it's very different in Zenless Zero because the one that you live, like literally if you live like the character on like other nations, right? You will not see them for like few patch unless they do like filler patches. On Zenless Zero, most characters literally interact with each other, which is crazy to think about. I'm gonna give you one example. Even in 2.0, we have the new region. Like the 2.0 characters still have connection with other characters. Panin who have a acquaintances, basically acquaintances with Ben Bigger. They are like I don't know if they are friends. I haven't seen like the trust event for Pan Yin Hoot yet, but I do know that they know each other. Okay, then it's just a big city basically. Like New Redo is big city, so it makes sense that some agents know each other. And also we're also having like Obo Squad, which is also related to characters that are on 1.0 characters. So it's so fun to see that you can see these characters interacting in the main story, and it's not just like you go to a different region, you're gonna forget about the characters from the previous region, which I like about Zenless Zero. And I wonder how they're gonna tackle that on season 2, because of course it's just the start of like the chapter 1. We haven't seen any like previous characters in the game yet, but we do know those characters interact with each other. So we're gonna see. We still don't know what basically the Zenless Zero devs are cooking. Okay, so we have some questions here. ZZZ has changed a lot of initial vision from what we saw at launch. While I'm sure that you're happy to able satisfy more players with the current version, aren't you a little sad as a creator that original vision wasn't deemed to be appealing enough? I feel like this question also is connected to the TV mode. I feel like most people would want the TV mode back, but not much of the TV mode. And I wanna talk about this topic so much regarding also with the storytelling in 2.0. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. Okay, the remove of the TV is what changed Zenless Zero storytelling so much, and it's also because of people or players that want combat on the game. And that is also the reason why on 2.0 we have a lot of combat on the game. You know, when you are playing the story, most of like the filler stuff on that story is in combat. That should be a TV mode if TV mode exists. Okay? But now it's combat, because from the very start of the game, when people are complaining about like the TV mode, a lot of people are saying that it should be combat instead of like TV, because it's taking out of immersion. Now people are complaining about it having too much combat. There's a lot more exploration. It's like semi-overworld, which is to be honest, for me it's kind of good also. This is also the players want from the very start, but now they are complaining that they have it. Isn't it crazy how the cycle works? It's crazy. You know what, let's get away from that tangent because I want to make a video about it, future video. So one of the constant challenges faced by a long-running game is change, and we are always aware of this. That is why the dev team of ZZZ has always been seeking change, combining game update requirements and player feedback. We explore numerous possibilities during development and select the best ones to present to players. But when content goes live, that's just the beginning. Some gameplay mechanics prove themselves in practice, while others may not meet our expectation. And I feel like this also happened in 2.0. I feel like they didn't meet their expectation on players' thoughts about the story, because a lot of people are, let's be honest, they are complaining. And it makes sense. Their complaints are valid. Their criticism is valid on the story. I would not say it's not valid, but it's kind of funny now that, you know, if you think about it, that's what they want. And now they got what they want, they still complain, and they want the old back to come back. And I feel like it's gonna repeat a cycle, because you cannot satisfy most people, especially in community, because many people have different opinions, and many people have different likes and dislikes, especially on a game. So you cannot satisfy them. And I feel like Zenless Zero devs know this, and that's why they are sticking on what most players wants. And it's nice to see that they are experimenting, but also it's kind of harming the game in some ways, since I feel like we are still in a development side of Zenless Zero, which is they're still trying to figure out how they're gonna tackle this whole thing, because they want to be unique, but most players want the same thing as the previous games have, and they are like in conflict. Innovation isn't achieved overnight. We need to make a trade-off. Therefore, we don't feel regret, but rather focus on our energy in the future, striving to bring more interesting content to players through change. Yeah, I mean, you could see this. Like literally you could see that they've been changing the game ever since launch, and it's crazy. In 1 year there's a lot of changes in the game. Like you could see it. Like if you compare 2.0 right now on 1.0 is like the difference is very big. It's not even the same game anymore, you know? Even on like story. Another big update of combat system is coming. Can you take us through the reasons why you deem more changes necessary of future of ZZZ combat will look like? Okay, this is interesting. In version 2.0, to provide players with accelerating combat experience, we explored upgraded sandbox-style combat stages based on ZZZ's unique gameplay features. Yeah, this is what players want from the very start, and now they're complaining that it's too much. Players will experience 3D combat stages with greater freedom, broader exploration space, and more fluid combat encounters, which I like it. I like it, you know. It's more immersive for me, especially in the story. Most people will not like it, no? Let's be honest. Just like how TV mode is, most people will not like it, but I like TV mode, but most people will not like it. So, you're not winning, you know. We have players from the other side, we have players from the opposite side. So, you cannot win either way. So, you just like literally Zenless Zero Devs are saying, you're just gonna focus on the future instead of just lingering in the past. Just listen to the players what they want and streamline what they want in the future, which is very good mindset, honestly. Accordingly, we made iterative improvements, squad configuration, and enemy engagement mechanics to make exploration and combat more streamlined and smooth. Additionally, we introduced miasma mechanic, adding more strategic depth to boss stages. Yeah, somewhat. I mean, miasma at the moment is not that hard, but I feel like miasma mechanic is gonna be more hard in the future since they just added it, you know. But for a long-term combat experience planning, first regarding more challenging combat gameplay, our team continues to consider how to design in-game content that properly showcase players' combat skills, improve battle techniques, and achieve character progression. We'll continue explore and expand combat-focused gameplay features such as simulated battle try coming in. Oh yeah, they said this on the special program. Basically, they are planning to do more stuff on the simulated battle triad. That's why they added like a timer, or like the timer is there from the very start, but it's not like going down. But now the timer is going down, so basically it's gonna reset soon, and they're gonna they basically you know, tease us with like the changes on the battle trial, which is basically like the battle tower. The deliver richer action, trio, satisfying gameplay mechanics. Second, we're exploring more ways to balance needs different player types, from content focused to action oriented players. ZZZ core objective is to bring joy of action to broader audience. Therefore, beyond core experience like combat, features like daily missions and mini games are designed to meet diverse players' needs. Moving forward, the team will continue exploring ways to better integrate content-based and combat-based gameplay to enhance interconnectivity between the game's various playstyle. I like how I like the way that they are thinking it. Basically, like content-focused players, they wanna transform them into action-oriented players, which is a good thing. It's not even bad. It's not even a bad thing. But the thing is, most content-focused players, I think you guys know this. Most people that are casual will complain, and they do not want change. Literally, they literally do not want to be an action-oriented players. But it's still so good to see that that's literally what ZZZ Devs want to do. Basically, turn those casuals into like action-oriented players. And now it makes sense, or we at least have some, I guess, their take, or like the devs take about like the casual player of the game. And they're literally like, we don't care about casual. We want the casual to be like, to actually learn and play the game. Which is, honestly, I want that. Go. It's a base thing to do, because honestly we have a lot of complainers in the game. I would not deny their crash out, their complaint stuff, but I feel like you should also take actions instead of just being, you know, just being there looking at the character's ass and not upgrading your characters, you know? Just saying. I'm just saying. Going into season 2 of the story, what are the lessons team learned from season 1 in terms of writing and presentation? From narrative perspective, ZZZ storytelling focus more on presenting individual version chapters, delivering complete story arcs within versions to provide players with fulfilling narrative experience. Starting from season 2, we will place greater emphasis on long-term main story development and setup, exploring characters more depth, showcasing multi-dimensional complex character relationship. I think they're already doing this. Like, they are literally making like the MC more connect to the characters instead of just being so, what's this, not connected. because you can see this on like other hoyoverse game where on HSR they have some relationship, but I don't we don't you don't feel the connection between them, even like the players on the characters. I feel this on HSR a lot, where the story is good, but I couldn't get into the story because I couldn't connect with the characters itself. The characters, they have interesting stories, they have like dark stories, but I couldn't like, not necessarily like but more on like I couldn't stick to it. That's why I'm still not doing the for you story. I finished like the 3.0 story, but I haven't done it since then. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not excited on seeing the characters. The characters looks good. They look good, but I'm not excited on literally seeing them. I like them, but I'm just not excited. Even on Genshin, I play Genshin from the very start, and I stopped because I just don't feel connected with the characters at all. On Zenless Zero, I feel super connected because they made the game very parasocial, especially with the characters. It's crazy. But anyways, additionally, we are working to integrate narrative more tightly core gameplay mechanics such as combining story sequence with 3D stage experience, allowing players to become more immersed in Zenless Zero. See, they did it. Like they have the mindset. They did it on 2.0 story, and people complain because they fail out of immerse on Zenless Zero story. I get it. I would say yeah, but I feel like they will continue on this kind of narrative soon. I feel like since a lot of people are complaining about the story too, being it like too lengthy, I feel like they're gonna decrease more of the 3D experiences. And I would agree, by the way. I'm 100% agreeing with all the stuff that players criticize about the story, while like the stuff that should not be included on the story should literally just be gone. I like literally I 100% agree with that. But some of the stuff that people are complaining, like there's a lot of fighting. Isn't that what you guys want from the very start? Like there's a lot of TV mode. I wanna fight, and now they give you fighting, no TV mode now. Just too many fighting. So yeah, couldn't win. We couldn't win. Either way, I still like the game. I'm not even complaining about how they told the story. Kinda interesting though that they decreased the comic stuff. I do want it to come back more. We only have like 2 comic scenes on that game. We need more, okay? Zenless, do better on that one. It looks like Belle and Wise will have changes in scenery in season 2. What are the inspiration of White Peninsula, and what makes it urban lifestyle different from 6th Street and other areas we seen in season 1? When designing Wi-Fi Peninsula, my whole time of Guangdong and local culture provide me with great deal of inspiration in Phylum Heights. There are many establishments commonly found in Cantonese culture such as Yamcha Sin, pawn shop, and traditional restaurants, which give the entire city more authentic living atmosphere. Okay, I'm guessing this is more of like the world building, especially like the Wi-Fi Peninsula. Additionally, most of our teams watch many Hong Kong films in conception of Wi-Fi Peninsula. Okay, we also drew inspiration from cultural fusion found in Hong Kong cinema, allowing Zenless Zero Season 2 Season 2's unique artistic design and cultural expression to be appreciated by players worldwide. The overall design of Wi-Fi Peninsula still revolves around the modern urban trendy elements. It's crazy how the devs is literally like a movie lovers. I love that. We already have like a lot of reference from movies in this game, which is honestly, it's crazy. Like on 1.7, 1.6, like how Belle is literally the story is like Twilight. The reference is like Twilight. Belle being like the main character, the girl from Twilight. And then we have like a vampire, and then we have a wolf. It's like the connection is crazy. Just a random tangent there. Yeah, but perhaps unlike the previous 6th Street and Luminous Square, we made more diverse stylistic expression attempt based on existing trendy urban impression, aiming to bring more fresh experience even in real world. The image and definition of trendy city isn't limited to just one type. Yeah, I would agree with that, because I think I said this on like my Story Quest live stream. I said it that like the world of Wi-Fi Peninsula is so not out of place, especially on what we already seen in Zenless, because it's not like that place. It's you don't feel, you feel that it's like we are out on a different region. You will still feel like the same feeling where you have on 6th Street, on Luminous Square, Port LPS, River Arena. You still feel that same feeling of like, hey, this feels like the same we have at home, the 6th Street. So yeah, they just did good on Whitefield Peninsula. I'm not even denying that, like, they did good. They did exceptionally good on that. But anyways, also have new duties and management temple inside the video store. Are there plans to make a management sim aspect in this layer more in-depth than the video store management? Proxy sibling who joins Yung Summit must not only resolve main story quests but also manage daily life temple affairs. Oh yeah, this is like the event thingy. Yeah, I like this event. I feel like they should remove it on the story though, like the main story for now, and just do it after the story. Not gonna complain. I would just complain on that part. The previous developer video touched on a map experience being revamped. How exactly is the experience of exploring the game change the player change the game change for players going forward? Okay. About this map experience, I have one criticism about this. Like the big map where we see a lot of hollow, we cannot even interact on it. It's just literally a big map. You cannot interact with it. You cannot like teleport on it, just like how on like, Genshin on HSR. You cannot interact with it, and you still need to use like the bar, like literally the box thingy to teleport on the places that you need to go. So we don't have two types of map. We only have one. They just added a picture next to it. That's hey, I like it, but they should at least make it interactable. You know, ZZZ faction have been the heart of the game since launch, and characters often still have specific bonuses with field and members of the same faction. However, we haven't really seen any more special animations like the ones for Roar, Koleda, and Ben. Okay, this is the big one. Has this feature have been dropped for good? Faction Chain Attacks one the future direction of combat design. Based on Agent's gameplay specialty, we are eager to explore more combat mechanic and possibility to bring players more diverse combat experience. Okay, so basically in the future, they're gonna include it soon. This confirmation is nice to hear, you know. Hugo and Lycan seems to be sharing few moves such as their kicks, probably learning from respective. Oh yeah, I feel like that's like literally a cool thing that they added also, because it's also their fighting style is also connected to their lore, which is honestly I like that. Can you take us through the part of the fighting styles animation decided for characters? How much attention you're giving to little details that enhance the story versus things simply looking cool? Characters combat style animation does not come from linear workflow. Okay, so they don't like just think about it and just put it there without any thoughts. Rather from synergies and collaboration between the planning, art, animation, and IP teams. Typically, the IP background provides animation team with direction and character personalities, and then base them on the original artwork. The team draw inspiration from anime content listen across different platforms. I mean, I can see that. Like literally Hugo is 100% like Joker reference, more on like Kaiba Kid, like Phantom Thief character. So yeah, brainstorm animation ideas and sometimes even act out of the character in the performance room to find inspiration and capture reference footage. After developing some general concepts and ideas, a combat design animation IP discuss various creative possibilities to determine the feasible and clarify gameplay logic. Okay. Finally, to enhance the character's depth and highlight, they might return to the art team to reinforce certain establishment elements based on animation conclusions. Therefore, narrative details, visual presentation are factors we consider equally, and designing combat actions neither taking precedence. As results, player find the character's story more convincing and more delight that these thoughtful details can bring pleasant surprises. Okay, so what they basically saying, like let's say Hugo, they have animations for Hugo already. They also it's already been out basically, and now they are making like on 1.6 and 1.7. Now they are making a story for like Lycon, like connecting it now to like Hugo, like also on the Lycon story. They are connecting it more now or giving it more attention. So like basically they said they just look on the like the very first art and then try to connect that with narrative details and visual presentation, which is nice to hear, you know, very nice to hear. And it's so cool because I keep seeing a lot of tweets that is like, wow, Hugo and Lycon is literally they have the same moves. They have the same moves, and there's still more. Especially like I saw this one from Shiyuan, and Lycon's tail is like animation is very different. That Shiyuan might become a agent in the future. That's just scope, honestly, but I don't know. Maybe they will do that because they did it in Pulcra. Okay, that's all that they talk about in this interview. Honestly, it's nice to see more stuff on what's gonna happen in the future of Zenless Zero. And I wanna talk more about like certain topics, honestly, but for now, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yeah, that's all. Thank you guys for coming. And what do you guys think about this interview? Honestly, very interesting interview, especially since like they revealed that like the tag team is gonna come back soon in the future. And yeah, comment down below, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.